You like to think forward and not backwards, but that you guys had a winning trip, a 3-0 trip. What did you take out of that trip from your team?
Boy, obviously lots of good things. The Colorado game, I thought we UPL was good in that game, but I thought we stayed on objective in that game. We played with a lot of confidence, and I thought we finished with a lot of confidence. And even you're up 3-0 in Vegas. That building is incredibly loud, one of the loudest buildings in the league, and they have to surge and push. And love the way our guys were very, very confident, regardless of giving up a goal and then a second goal. They wanted to get we had every guy that wanted to get back on the ice and go after it. So lots of good signs even to finish up that trip. In some tough games. Obviously, the Vegas game we get up 3-0. We only have one power play in the game. The power play's been playing real well, so we had to find a different way to win that game, and we did. And that's something nice. We're finding we're okay with not perfect to win hockey games, and you have to be okay with that. It's not winning is not perfect. Winning is not success in all areas. It's just success and final result and staying on that task. And felt our guys mentally attack that as an objective very aggressively.
You said following the Vegas game that Ukko-Pekka is taking adverse situations and adapting and becoming better. Could you maybe expound on that a little, like give an example, just what you've seen and how he's done that, I guess?
Well, I mean, anytime, especially a young guy, you're recalled from Rochester, and now you're facing the greatest shooters in the world, which you're not in the American Hockey League. You have lots of young talent in a very, very good league, but this is the greatest league in the world, and you have shooters shooting at you. It's different. Timing's different. Everything's different, and there's an acclimation period, especially for younger players that don't have a lot of NHL experience. And I felt he went through that window through early games and had some frustration and goals he probably wanted back. The key is that you don't want those to affect his confidence. Don't want doubt to creep in. All the while everybody around him is second guessing him. I mean, let's face it. You're a goalie in the NHL. You give up a goal. Everybody second guesses you. Are you good enough? You should have had that, and on and on and on. And this league is not kind to goaltenders. Just look at Stanley Cup winning goaltenders and look where they're at right now. They're all over on different teams and struggling and everything else. So it's just not kind to goaltenders. So for Upi to come up, not play as well early as he's playing now, to go through that acclimation period and come out on the other side, more dialed in and probably even better. But again, it took him a little bit, I felt, to get his timing and situations back. He did that, did a nice job at that, and you could see him playing with more confidence, and that's big.
The Cousins line made it look so easy some games. What can they take from a couple on the road where it isn't as easy?
Yeah, I'm not so sure if it's the road as much as it is just natural occurrences. When you play well and you play on a high, it might be tough to sustain that, especially at a younger age until you gain more experience. So I think the road probably has something to do with it, but I think it's too much to say it's just the road. This is natural. This is part of growth for younger players. And I don't see anything unnatural about it. And we can say young players, but this happens with all players. I mean, this is the greatest league in the world. So you're going to have ups and downs and ebbs and flows. And the other night they had just under 10 minutes, Quinn and Peterka. We're in a game 3-0. We know we can win, and we know we should win. And you shorten a bench based on that, and who's going and who's feeling it. And I felt personally those two weren't feeling it quite as well. It's not that they played bad or they had a tough night. The other guys were feeling it more. And when you can read that right on the bench, and when we're in that situation, other guys are feeling it more, you're going to go with them. Now, if we were down by 3 goals, you might think differently, and because those two guys can make plays. So the situation dictated a lot of it as well.
In the third period, as the third period wore on, you put Tyson in for Peyton Krebs, and we've talked about how well Peyton has been playing lately. And my thought was, I guess I'm trying to climb into your head here. why wouldn't you want Peyton to go through those situations like that? To continue on, because I know why you'd put
My
Jost on
question
that.
back to you would be: hasn't he gone through those situations?
Yeah, but to close out a
yes.
game, and I understand
So-
why Jost would do it. I get it,
Yeah.
but my thought is, I get that, but why not let Peyton go through that? And I guess I'm just trying to climb in your head.
No, I'm not arguing with you, but I hope Paul, we're having fun with you. Actually, he has had situations like that. So very valid point by you. And yes, I do want him to go through situations. We want him to go through situations like that. He has gone through situations like that. He was earlier in that game going through situations like that. Game before, situations like that. We had to shorten the bench just based on, I felt these guys are going. I felt Quinn and Paterka had an off night, and I also felt this is going to be a bigger part of Jost's role, I think, moving forward. And it's an opportunity to slide him in there for that reason, potentially face-offs. So, it's you're mentioning Krebs as a potential for building, and I'm telling you the same thing, that I feel the same way with Jost, who's not he's a very experienced guy in virtue number of games in the NHL, but he's a very young guy too. He's only 24, so it's a little bit of I wanted both those guys to get almost the same type of experience and opportunity through experience that game presented. Josty's still, I think, getting acclimated with us as an organization, as a team, still finding his game because he's played a certain way and been conditioned to play a certain way just to survive in the NHL. And we want to get him out of just survival mode. We want to get him into thrive mode. And I felt, that's another guy, much like Peyton, we're trying to nudge forward. We're trying to nudge Tyson forward just as much.
As far as Jeff goes, he's been in the league a while. He's a known commodity. How is he different this year? Because he's found a different level. And a lot of guys at 12, 13 years in the league, 30 years old, don't evolve and find a higher level. What's the change maybe?
I think you can point to lots of different things. Tage Thompson, Alex Tuck, and the chemistry they built is energizing. That would energize anybody. And we've made it an objective to, with all our players to come to the rink and enjoy the game. And I've talked to you guys a lot about that. These guys have to, the hope is they feel the same passion they did when they were 5 years old and playing, with nobody watching them and thinking about playing in the NHL. That type of energy and passion, and find that within them each day. And it seems like he's and lots of guys have identified more with that, just the pure joy of playing and having fun playing and competing. These guys are very competitive people, and to connect with just compete. It got him in trouble a little bit with the Pittsburgh, I think, but it's sort of the same type of dynamic. Just play, immerse yourself in the love and passion of the game, and when you can do that with a guy with his talent, and he's enjoying it as much as he's enjoying it. I think your question's pretty much answered there with that. And then you surround him with guys that are doing the same. And in this case, Tuck and Thompson, you have a lot of synergy there. And, that's the hope, that we can kind of foster an environment where that synergy creates.
When you guys went through that lull in November, you mentioned the team kind of learning how to deal with expectations, like the expectation that you guys can win. And now that you've pulled out of that, you can almost feel it a little bit, externally anyways, those expectations going up. How do you hope that they handle that in terms of, handling it better maybe than they did?
You're always going to be challenged because those expectations go up one level at a time.
Yeah.
And so you put together, as you accumulate wins, the expectations are going to be, they're going to increase, and they're going to be different than they were before. And so you're always going to have to jump. We jump past the last plateau, and the next one's coming. And it's going to be exactly the same situation from the standpoint of how you feel and how you perceive, and then how you react from that point. So you're hoping to learn from that. What part of this is just your perception? What part of this is you're really not losing control? And so for us, we went through that challenge and struggle at one plateau. We're hoping to move up to the next one, and we welcome that challenge again, because that means we're to the next one. So it's just, that one's not going away.